Hello everyone, my name is Paul Third and I need an easy video this week. So I've decided to make a video talking about 6 studio tools that I've been using recently for my business that have been working really well. Most of these things I've never talked about before. Some of these I may have mentioned briefly in other videos. So let's get into it. 6 studio tools that I believe are really, really great for professional audio engineers. Right, so number 1, Streamdeck. I believe that the Streamdeck is a really good investment. Some people might find it a little bit pricey. Mine's like a 15-button Elgato Streamdeck. I believe that even though it cost me like, what was it, 100 and something, I can't remember what it was. Like, it was over 100 quid, right? But the amount of time that thing saves me is crazy. I've got all the apps that I use all in one place. I can just click it and I could macro them in certain ways so it loads a certain way. I can also set different outputs in here. So again, because I'm on the Windows on the setup, so I can have one setup to go out of, a set of outputs on the Audient. I can have the outputs to go through the SPDIF side, which is the topping conversion chain that's running out of the ID48. Even in Studio One, I basically bought a Studio One pack for the Streamdeck, so it's got all the shortcuts there, and I've adapted them to my own shortcuts because you can change the macros. Essentially, all of the things that I do in sessions, I've got them tailored to the Streamdeck, and it just saves me time. And you'd be amazed at how all these little 20-second moves over like a 2-3 hour session, honestly, it works out in the end. So, for me, a Streamdeck is a really great way of optimizing your workflow, which in a professional context is actually way more important than you think. So next up, I have got a new piece of gear that I've been using a lot. Like honestly, if you were to get clients in here that's worked with me in the studio, and you were to say, what gadget, what piece of equipment does Paul use more than anything else? They would say this thing here, right? And that is the Franklin MS3 studio amp switcher. Now, many people will find like a fully analog amp switcher kind of redundant, because if you've got something, again, like what I've got here in Audient ID48, you've got like an alt button and you can switch your speakers and blah, 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 blah. However, the way that I've got things set up in my studio, it doesn't really work for me. One, if I was to use the ID48 for its outputs, its line outputs for speakers, I would have to, like, it's not easy because of the way the desk is situated. So like I would be stretching and then backwards and forwards, and I wouldn't be in the listening position, blah, 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 blah. It's just ergonomically, it doesn't really work for me. So with the amp switcher, I've got it right beside me. And what I love about it is that it's genuinely just A, B, C, and it's got 3 analog outputs. Basically what you do is you run like a DB25 out of it, and then it has, stereo pairs of XLRs. One pair of XLR will go from your DAC line out, and then the other 3 pairs will then go to your speakers. And what this has allowed me to do is to be able to split the signal from my topping chain. So in here, I've got a D93 discrete DAC running into a topping A900. It's arguably the best converging and amp chain that you're going to get for mixing and mastering, period. There is talk about me getting the DX9 discrete, which will then replace the D93 discrete, but I'm going to keep the A900. There'll be a video on mix phones. Trust me, this thing is absolutely crazy. Like, wait till I do the video on it. Like, you'll all want it. Now, as great as the A900 is, it's only got 1 pair of preamp outs to go to speakers. Now, I could run the Tantrum Angry Boxes out of the Audient and then like do a switch with the Streamdeck. But it's a little bit convoluted, and again, if it's in Studio One, it means that I've got to physically change outputs, and it's just not quick for me. Again, I like to work rapid, where with the Franklin MS3, genuinely I just press the button, switches it, the routing to that set speaker, press it off, and then it mutes everything. And having just a kill switch, like a mute switch, is really, really, really great for me when I'm tracking, because what I love to do is have people in that booth right there, like when I've got vocalists in. And so what it means is I could be listening to the take back. Simple. Right, okay, great. Okay, right, let's do another take. Bang, kill switch, done. And again, if I want to quickly switch to the Angry Boxes to give me like a different representation, if I need to maybe check to see if there's something that I'm maybe missing in the mid-range, then I could quickly switch it. And for me, it's just made my life a hell of a lot easier. Some people may be like, fuck, paying like over £100 for just like an amp switcher. Well, if you've got like 3 sets of speakers in here, which I did, I genuinely at one point I had the Kali SM8s, the Tantrum Angry Boxes, and the Head Type 07. And with this amp switcher, I was able to switch between all 3 of them, and I was able to mute things, and it's just a dream for me to work with. So just now, with the Head Type 07s being in the live room now, it means I've got 1 set spare. And I probably don't need to use that that C, because it's ABC. But I might consider maybe getting another headphone amp in and maybe using that for in there. So it means that people can like have control of the headphone amp that's in there, blah, blah, blah. It just gives me lots of options, but it's very, very well made. It's built like a tank, like DB25 XLR outs that it comes with. It's very high quality, and I can confirm for anybody asking, it is very, very linear, very transparent. There's no coloration that I can hear. There's no degradation of audio coming out. And yeah, it is a dream for me to work with, especially with the Tantrum Angry Boxes, because I do have a little bit of interference issues with the Tantrum Angry Boxes when I use any other DAC amp in here. Again, it could be any interface I use. It doesn't matter in which room. I get a little bit of interference, where with the A900, the preamp with that, it is as clean as a whistle. No interference. It's unbelievable. So being able to use the same amp for the SM8s and Angry Boxes is absolutely vital for me, because I'm getting the best optimal quality, and it's just at my fingertips. It's easy to use, and you'd be amazed at just how much time it saves you. And for anybody asking, yes, I was sent to Franklin MS3. Thank you very much to Sam at Make Noise Pro Audio for making that happen. The perks of being a YouTuber, but genuinely, you will see it on my desk for however many years to come. Another thing that I do believe is a very good professional tool for a lot of studio mixers, sometimes mastering engineers, is a tool that I've already mentioned quite a lot already, which is the Tantrum Angry Boxes. Now, just to make it clear, Tom from Tantrum did send me the Angry Boxes. I got them a long time ago now. I've had them for a long time, but I needed time with them to truly understand them. Now, in many studios, you will find single driver boxes. Normally, people have been using things like the Oratones. They've been like used as like a grot box over the years, and many people say, you know, it sounds nasty, but if you can make your mix sound good on those, then the mix will translate other places. The Angry Boxes are more refined than that. I think due to the marketing, many people are like, yeah, they're brutal and they're harsh. They aren't really. It's like the only brutal thing about them is that you've not got the low end, because it's a mid-range driver, so it's not a woofer, so it's not making the low energy. And because it's a mid-range driver, it's not a tweeter, so it's not making like the super high energy above 10k. So you've kind of just got your mid-range exposed. Now, if you imagine like the quality of something like an ATC mid-driver, like comparative quality to that as a single box, what you're left with is actually a very clean, very fast representation of the mix. Now, because it's a single driver, what it means is that your phase coherence is arguably the best of any speaker, because it's a single point source. It's just like bang, bang, single point source. Obviously, it's still like interacting with the room, but you don't have any issues with, you know, crossover points, blah, 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 blah. And also in terms of its directivity, it's super direct, which is why when you've got the Angry Boxes in front of you, your transients are super, super quick. Your panning and your phantom center your localization is like pinpoint accuracy. Again, it's a sealed cabinet, so again, the transients are super, super quick. And again, with it being a single driver, you're not having that crossover thing that you get with speakers, and the directivity is just coming right at you. You will genuinely struggle to get a better phantom center than what you get on the Angry Boxes. I've been really learning the sound of like a bandpass speaker. Now, many people could say, yeah, but you could just like put a bandpass on your normal speakers. You can just have like Yamaha HS8s and just put a bandpass on them. You can do that, but the difference with the Angry Boxes is, again, that localization. So what that means is that the quality of that mid-range information is super, super detailed. Very low distortion as well. That's what I try to say to people, is that, yeah, you could have, you know, a speaker system that you could bandpass it. You know, you could take off the low end and the high end, But again, if it's not very well made and it's got quite high, levels of distortion in it and THD and IMD and stuff like that, then what you're hearing isn't really the best mid-range. And I think that's the thing that people struggled with the Autotones, is they called them grot boxes and shit boxes because they sounded shit. Where the Angry Boxes don't sound shit. It's just giving you the mid-range as clear as day. Your transients, your localization, for me, is just perfect. And with not having the low end, it's really, really, really taught me the importance of having that kind of just that mid-band check. Because I remember I was doing a mentoring session with a client and they sent me a mix and I was listening to it on the heads and I was like, fucking hell, man, the bass is like fucking bombastic. This sounds great. Switched to the Angry Boxes and the bass disappeared. And I was like, oh, we've got a problem here. And then actually I did it on a production 3 weeks ago. We were getting like this vibe and I put like kind of a very subby kind of 808-ish style kick in there to kind of give one more of a vibe to the beat. And I was like, yes, sounds great. Switched to the Angry Boxes and I was like, shit, it's not got enough mid bass in there. And what you will find in like professional mixes, Spike, Serbin, especially Manny Marroquin, you will find that the upper bass, so kind of your mid bass, so say like, above 100 hertz, the bass will always still sound present and big on small speakers. That's why things like, Waves Max bass was always a big thing with the mixer community, and it kind of still is in certain places. That's why many people add harmonics to their basses. So when you have like a really, really big low end in a track, when you put it on a smaller system, like if like an Alexa or, a phone, you can still hear the bass and it's still kind of sitting right in terms of its balance, in the track. And that's something that I've been learning a lot on the Angry Boxes, where when I take out the subs and the tops, the mix still needs to sound relatively the same. I'm not a big believer of you nail the mid-range, nail the mix. You've got to nail everything. Highs, okay. Highs are the thing you don't need to nail as much. That's less important. But, bass, arguably, I think is more important than the mid-range because everybody's listening to headphones and earbuds now. So they're getting, Harman-style bass these days. If you nail the bass and then you nail the mids, I'd say you've got a track that's going to translate. So I have been learning these over the years, and the more mixes I do on them, the more kind of I'm learning them, the more vital I find them to be, because they just guarantee me dynamically I'm going to be able to hear the energy of the track. I'm going to be able to hear if I want it to slam, it's going to tell me it's slamming. If I've left a click or whatever, again a pop or whatever, or there's something that's maybe just a bit like too transient, clicky or whatever, it's going to tell me. If I've not got enough mid bass in there, it's going to tell me. I also find that this is great for levels. So especially vocal levels, instrument levels, kick, snare levels, I find this is great for just judging your overall levels. And honestly, I think if you get to near the end of the mix and you do a check on those and the mix still makes sense, it'll translate really well to smaller systems. If you switch on the Angry Boxes and all of a sudden the mix doesn't really make sense and the balance is off and things don't really sound right, you have a translation issue. So for me, in terms of translation, the Tantrum Angry Boxes have been really, really important for me to get better translation. And yeah, I know it's expensive. I know nothing is these days. But if you think about the quality of ATC mid-drivers, like everybody talking about ATC mid-drivers. Now, I'm not saying they are exactly ATC mid-drivers, but as far as I'm aware, they're very, very, very close to ATC mid-drivers. So you just imagine having that clarity of the mid-range in front of you, directly at you, direct point source, less reflections in the room, more direct sound. It's going to tell you a lot. And trust me, it's very high quality, very low distortion. Tantrum Angry Boxes, chef kiss. Now, this next one is going to be a little bit controversial because I can't even believe I did it as well. I bought this like last week, an Earthworks M23R. It is a measurement microphone. And yeah, £600 I paid for it. £600 for a measurement microphone. Now, many people will be like, Paul, why would you ever pay that amount of money? for a measurement microphone when you've got SonarWorks, when you've got Arc mics, you've got Mini DSP, blah, 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 and some of them come with calibration files. Now, this was something that I picked up from Nate from Cali Audio when he came down here and he calibrated the Atmos room, and he showed me how to measure and calibrate speakers. So I've been doing that recently. I recalibrated the Cali SM8s because I changed a few things in the studio, changed the position and blah, blah, blah. And as much as it pains me to say it, this is super, super accurate. Now, you don't need to get the M23R. You can get the M23, but the tolerances change. So I'm pretty sure it's like plus or minus 3 dB. This is like plus or minus 0.5 dB. And I love this stuff. It just shows you how much of a geek I am. They give you a calibration certificate of the frequency response of the microphone. So as you can see, it's like super, 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 super flat. And Cali actually made a calibration file for the moving mic method, which we talked about a lot in the speaker video that I made with Nate, which I'm telling you right now, it's one of the best videos on YouTube about getting speakers to sound good in the room. Watch it. It's an hour and 20 minutes. You will get years and years of experience in that one video. And that's what he used, was this. And this is just kind of really for me being absolutely anal, because I was asking Nate, and I said, look, the M23, the Earthworks M23 is cheaper. Why don't I get that? And he said the worst thing you could ever say to Paul Third. You can get the M23, Paul, but do you want precise or precise? And if we all know Paul Third, we all know that I want precise. Even just knowing that the cal file that they used for the moving mic method is specifically for this. And again, they know it's going to work because the tolerances are really, really good per mic. It's something that, you know, I kind of still look at it and go, fucking hell, I could have bought someone else for this, or I could have kept my money. But Nate, I think, was right when he was talking about if you're going to be using speakers a lot in your room, especially with my Atmos room. Like, think about it. I've got, you know, a 7.1.4. I've got 12 speakers in there. So if you think about the tolerances of each mic that you can get, and again, the cal files may not be perfect a lot. And again, if you've got an Arc mic and you try and do things manually, there's no cal file available. SonarWorks are very good because they give you a cal file, but this is just a more precise microphone. And if you're going to be thinking about making moves in your speakers, and you're talking about there could be a 2 dB difference in, say, the mid-range, you could maybe say that in a SonarWorks mic, it might be like, even with a cal file, it might say, you've maybe got a bit of a resonance there, you know, at 2K, and you need to take that down. If you think about how prominent that area is, and then in your correction, you take that down by 2 dB, and you don't need to take it down, that's then going to impact your counter translation. So it's not completely necessary, but I do believe it's a worthwhile investment, because not only can you use it for measuring stuff, you've got a super, super, super flat microphone. I can use this on anything. It's an Omni mic. I could use this for an array of things, but I do believe that a good measurement mic for a professional studio is really important if you're using speakers, because in my opinion, there's not really much point spending $5,000 or maybe sometimes 10, 12 grand on a pair of speakers and then, you know, not spending the money to measure things right. You can go up and get like Trinov, which has its like 3D mic, blah, 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 blah. If you want to go up to that, then again, that comes with it. But if you want to do things manually, then, you know, a really good measurement mic is great, because it means that no matter where you move your speakers, no matter which studio you move into, and regardless of, you know, what your circumstances change over time, it means that no matter whenever you need to make a change and you need to do a calibration, or you need to check, you know, RT60 times, or you need to check decay times, or you need to check something or calibrate or measure your speakers, you genuinely know that you've got the most precise measurement that you're going to get for your speakers. So yeah, who would have ever thought that Paul Third would pay £600 fucking pound? You can see I'm still gutted about it, but at the end of the day, there's no point in me spending all that money on the Cali SM8s and, you know, not getting the best measurement for them and not, you know, having the best calibration for them. So yeah, I do genuinely believe that for a professional studio, getting a very, very precise measurement microphone like the Earthworks M23R is a very good shout. Right, okay, so that's 4 for you. Now, what I'm going to do with the last 2 is I'm going to kind of tell you about 2 apps that I've been using quite a lot with my clients. And yeah, I think like this has genuinely really kind of made me look a little bit more professional to clients, and workflow wise it's been working really well. Now, to be clear, I was given this service free of charge. I was a beta tester, but it's not sponsored, right, just to be clear. Either way, this app that I've been using a lot with my clients is called Opusonix. I love it because it works for my brain really well. It's basically an online platform where you can upload files and your clients can leave you feedback notes, and you can set tasks and you can leave checklists for yourself. You can upload files for them to download as well if you've got the pro set up. And already I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from my clients. There's a few things that they still need to change for me. I think they would really benefit from an auto gain function. So when you are uploading files, they're all at the same level. It'd be good to have that as an option to switch on and off if they could do that. And another one would be alerts. I was doing a master for somebody today, and I uploaded a file, forgot to email them, and they were like, I thought they would have sent me an alert or a notification to say that somebody's added something. So yeah, it'd be good if they had like something on there where you could alert the people that's on the platform that you've kind of added something or made a change, or they've left a feedback note. But yeah, it's early days for the platform, but already the clients are really liking it. I like how I can add files, and it's just very easy for me to, to change the layout of it. I can change colour of it, they could leave notes on certain parts of the track, and it's just really good for me to have one place where all of, all the audio is kind of stored. And all you need to do is just send an email link to your client. They can go on that at any time. And again, they can download the files if you've got the pro membership side of it. And it's working really well for me so far. I like having tasks that I can put in for the client so they can see, right, especially because I'm doing a lot of production, where we're building songs over time. So I could say, right, okay, we've done blah, 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 that, and that. And when I kind of have done certain parts of the production, or I've added a new instrument, or I've got a new idea, I add it to Opusonix, right, go check that out. And, it's really great for me and Ed because we are going into business together as well. So we're going to be doing mixing and mastering together as an additional service. I'll still be having Tay Sound Studio, Ed will still have his business. But if people want to combine our skill set together, we're going to be doing that. And Opusonix is going to be a great way of doing that. So we've done it on a master already, where he's mixing it, I'm mastering it. So I've got his mix up, and then I've got my master up, and then in real time we can see the client's feedback. And again, we've got one place that we can go back and forth. It works better for me because some people use Google Drive and stuff like that, but I don't know, Google Drive can sometimes get a little bit cumbersome, and sometimes you've got to find the folder that it's in and blah, blah, blah. It's just... Honestly, Opusonix is, for me, going to be a bit of the future for people working with clients. There will be other platforms that I've never heard of. So if there are other platforms that you've heard that you use that are similar, again, leave that down in the comments down below. But yeah, so far, I've got about 6-7 projects on Opusonix so far, and it's working really well. It works really well for my autistic brain. And yeah, check it out if you've not checked it out. Opusonix. I'll leave a link in the description. Now, Opusonix is great for when I've done the mix and I'm looking to get feedback. Now, what about if I want to do some real-time mixing with a client? That's something that I wasn't ever really able to do before. So I recently signed up, and I'm paying monthly for it, is Audiomovers. So I am using Audiomovers ListenTo. It's a really great, easy platform to use. I mean, I hate fucking paying monthly subscriptions for stuff because I've got so many, honestly. So even you're trying to do this professionally, the amount of subscriptions just fucking add up. It's crazy. But ListenTo has been really good because what it allows me to do is go into the session in real time, and essentially you add it as a plugin on your master, and then from there all they need to do is they get a link. They could then go to the link on the internet, and then the audio from the DAW is streamed in real time to them. Now, obviously, that's not video included. So what I do is I basically just set up a Riverside, which is what I use for the podcast. It's essentially just being used like a video call. So I've got my mic, I've got them, I could hear them back and forth, and we can also hear the DAW audio as well that they're getting from ListenTo on a separate browser. So that's been working quite well. There was a few things I had to work out to make it work at first. It wasn't really working the way I wanted to at first, but in Studio One, I've got it in a way that it's working really, really well. And for some clients, it's just better for them. Some clients like to be, in the mix at the time, especially if it's, something that's really, really anal, where it's like, could be just like a harmony level, where it's like, yeah, see that one part of the song where it's just like this thing that I'm hearing that I just like want that raised up, or there's just something here that, it's around there and I'm hearing it and I don't know what it is. Right, okay, cool. Let's just jump on the session. And let's just see what we've got here. Right, this is, whereabouts is it? It's about there, Paul. Right, okay, let's loop it back and forth. Oh, right, okay, I can see what that is. Do you want me to take that out? Yeah, Paul, could you see if you can fix that? Cool. Is that sorted? Perfect, yeah. Cool, brilliant, yeah. And it could just be a thing of like, what have you got going on in the session? Right, okay, I've got this going on, I've got that going on. Sometimes it's just good to have a visual representation. And for me, it's really, really important to be able to do this virtually, because I'm in a small village in Scotland, and it's not easy for some people, especially if they could be in Glasgow and Edinburgh. I've got clients that are in Glasgow. Sometimes they don't want to drive like an hour and 20 minutes, just to do like a quick mix revision in person. So it's great to be able just to jump on a call very quickly, get ListenTo set up. Right, okay, bum, and before you know it, whatever issue or whatever thing they wanted changed is done. And it's also great for virtual sessions as well. So it could be a thing where we're working on ideas, like, Paul, I can't make the session this week. Somebody's got the car, or my car's isn't getting serviced or whatever. Right, okay, cool. No, we'll do the session virtually then. So again, I've got the piano in here now, the electric piano, the Yamaha. So again, I could be playing ideas with synths and stuff like that. And, I could be plugging instruments in and trying different things and do a virtual session online. So as a business, it's giving me more flexibility with clients, which from a professional standpoint is always a good thing. So yeah, I'm still getting my head around it and still kind of tweaking things to perfection. But there you have it, right? There you have it. If I am overly edited this week, I've just started on antidepressants. So my brain is not working right, honestly. I'm slurring words and shit. I feel really, really weird. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. But I thought, I wanted to do a video at least, because I'm feeling really kind of undermotivated. So yeah, here it is, a hodgepodge video where what would you not expect from Paul Third? So there you have it, 6 studio tools for audio professionals. Yeah, leave your comments down below. My name's Paul Third. Wow, my brain's so frazzled. Honestly, I feel like the hamster in the wheel is like, it's going like that just now. But there you have it, right? My name's Paul Third, and I'll see you whenever I see you.